Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to the Prem Bhakti Chandrika series. Today we are going to discuss 11th verse, which talks about nicely performing 9 types of devotional service, and we will elaborate on that. So the verse goes like this: Bhagavat Shastra Marma Navavidha Bhakti Dharma Sadai Karibo Susevan अन्य देवाश्रय नहीं तुम्हारे कहिलु भाई यही भक्ति परम भजन. So the direct meaning is like this: Bhagavata Shastra Marma. The essence of Bhagavatam is Navavidha Bhakti Dharma. The the ninefold devotional service which begins with Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. Sadai Karibo Susevan. I will always perform it very nicely. And there is another meaning to this. It can also be understood as Bhagavata Shastra Marma. All the literature of the Goswamis is like the essence of all the Bhagavad Shastra, whether it is Prem Bhakti Chandrika or whether it is Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu or whether it is Brihad Bhagavatamrit or whether it is Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, whatever our Goswamis have given as a literature, that is a Bhagavad Shastra Marma. This is another understanding. And Navavidha Bhakti Dharma, so I will nicely serve these books given by Goswamis and I will nicely perform the Navavidha Bhakti. So that is another way of saying it. Or one can say the essence of Bhagavatam is Navavidha Bhakti and that I will perform nicely. Anya Devashraya Nahi, Tomare Kahinu Bhai. I will not take shelter of anybody else other than Krishna. No demigod worship. No taking shelter of demigods. Tomare Kahilu Bhai, I am telling you, A Bhakti Parama Bhajan. This is the correct way of doing bhajan, or this is the topmost way of doing bhajan. So let's go little deeper into the meaning of what is the meaning of Susevan. Sadai Karibo Susevan. So Srimad Bhagavatam, in that Prahlad Maharaj, when he was asked by his father, what is the best thing that you learned? So Prahlad Maharaj quotes this verse: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma, Nivedanam, Iti Punsarpita Vishnu, Bhaktishen, Navalakshana, Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha, Tanmenne Adhitamuttamam. This ninefold devotional service, hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet, and doing archana, offering obeisances, having dasya mood, having sakhya mood in one's service, and atmanivedanam, offering one's everything. This is the essence of, this is the best what I understood from the teachings of Vedas. So let's try to understand what is Susevan. So if we perform these activities very nicely, then we can progress very fast in devotional service. Otherwise, there will be a lot of delay in our progress. So we will go one by one. What is doing hearing nicely? Hearing. So Shravanam, Srila Jiva Goswami mentions hearing Krishna's Naam Roop Gun Leela is Shravanam. Somehow it touches our ears. It is Shravanam. Shravane, tatrapi Shravane, Bhagavata Shravanam tu Paramashreshtham. Shrajiv Goswami writes, among all types of hearing Krishna Katha, hearing Krishna Katha from Bhagavatam is the topmost. Why? Because tasya tadrisha prabhavamayatvat paramarasamayatvacha tadrisha prabhavamaya shabdatmakatvat Paramarasa means the very words of Bhagavatam are fully potent with devotion. So simply by hearing them, one feels that potency. And secondly, Paramarasamayatvat, because it is full of Bhakti Rasa, Shuddha Bhakti Rasa. And therefore, Bhagavad Shravan is the best among all kinds of Krishna Katha. Hearing from Bhagavatam is the best. And when we say Bhagavatam, our Goswamis have kept Bhagavatam as the central in writing whatever books they have written. So that also comes as a Bhagavatam. That also becomes Bhagavatam. And on top of that, if we are able to hear from Sajatiya Ashay, Jiva Goswami writes, Srila Jiva Goswami, that from somebody who is having the similar inclination as that of ours, and from such Mahanubhav, if we are such great soul, if we are able to hear Srimad Bhagavatam or the literatures like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, etc., that is the best kind of Shravan, and that is Sadai Karibo Susevan. Always I will hear such Katha. So let's come to Kirtan. How does one do Susevan of Kirtan? That was nicely performing Kirtan. So Kirtan itself is the, as declared by Srila Shukadeva Goswami, the best among all the 9 processes. Etan nirvidyamananam ichchatam akuto bhayam yoginam nrupaniranitam harer nama anukirtanam. So what is nicely doing Kirtan? Anukirtanam. Continuously doing Kirtan. That is nicely doing it. Secondly, it means that Anukirtanam is chanting those names of Krishna according to one's own disposition or aspired disposition towards Krishna. So all of us, if we are, our Ishtadev is Vraj Krishna, and that too with Vrishabhanu Nandini Radharani, then one's focus of chanting the names should be on Hare Krishna, which is addressing Radharani and Krishna, or Radha Raman, Radha Kanta, Vrindavan Vihari, Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda. These names one should chant. So that is Susevan. And another meaning of Susevan is uh, chanting with the heart, very humble and respectful, giving respect to others. So that kind of Trunadapi Sunichana Taroriva Saishnana Amanena Manadena Kirtanya Sadari. That is Susevan. Having a humble disposition, very humble disposition, and a very respectful disposition to everybody else according to whatever respect they deserve. So that should be the disposition. That is Susevan of Kirtan. Or it means that one avoids 10 kinds of Nam Aparad, which includes uh, like disrespecting a spiritual master, or considering Vedic literature to be exaggerating, or doing sins on the strength of holy name, etc., or criticizing Vaishnavas. That is the biggest offense. And so avoiding those offenses and doing Kirtan is Susevan, nicely performing Kirtan. Then what is nicely performing Smaran, or remembering Krishna's pastimes, especially pastimes, because pastimes include Nam, Rup, Gun also. So Susevan, how does one nicely perform remembrance? So Srila Sanatana Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami both write that smarana or remembrance of Krishna's pastime requires lot of purity of the heart. So therefore, Nama Sankirtana aparityagena smaranam kuryat. One should perform Sankirtan, and simultaneously, without giving up Sankirtan, one should perform Smarana. So that is the way, and one should do Smarana based on his purity of the heart. He should not venture too much into esoteric pastimes, Leela Smaran, but he should remember those pastimes of Krishna, which he can easily and happily, without any too much endeavor, he can uh, remember them without any, with peaceful and devotionally pure heart, whatever he can access or capable of relishing, only that much Leela Smaran he should do. That is Susevan. And this remembering is of 5 types. Jiva Goswami mentions Smaranam tu tatra panchavidham. Yat kinchit anusandhanam smaranam. In whatever way Krishna's name form has touched our mind, somehow we have become aware of Krishna's Nam, Rup, Gun, Leela, somehow or the other, that is Smaranam. Then comes Dharana, means Sarvato Chittam Akrushya Samanya Karana Manodharana Dhyanam. So taking our mind, which is given to so many subject matters, bringing it back on one subject matter, that is Krishna Nam, Rup, Gun, Leela, in a general way, that is Dharana. Then comes Dhyana, which means Visheshato Rupadi Chintanam Dhyanam, specifically focusing on Krishna's Rupa, etc., and concentrating on mind. So that is called as dhyana. Then comes Amrita Dharavat Avichinnam uh, Dhruvanusmriti. Next stage is like the flow of nectar which is unbroken. So that is Dhruvanusmriti. And finally, Dheya Matra Spuranam, Samadhi. Final stage is Samadhi, where one sees only Radha Krishna and their pastimes and their parikars and nothing else. So that is Samadhi. So first three are possible in sadhak stage. That smaranam, dharana, and dhyan is possible in sadhana stage. Only at bhav and prem stage one can do dhruvanusmriti and samadhi. So susevan means trying to bring from smarana to uh, dharana to dhyan, at least at our sadhana stage. So this is kirtan, nicely doing kirtan. What is nicely doing pada sevanam? Now, the meaning of Pada Sevanam is Pada Sevanam means actually serving Lord, but the word Pada is used to hint at respectful demeanor. And Seva means Kala Deshadi Uchita Paricharya Seva. Serving the Lord according to the time, place, and circumstances. So that is Pada Seva and respectfully. So that is Pada Sevanam. How to do it nicely? Like having a proper respectful disposition whenever one is approaching any kind of service of Krishna, and making it appropriate to time and place. If it is winter, then one should give the proper clothes to Krishna, and like wrapped up nicely in winter clothes, etc. If it is summer, then one should give more juices, one should give to Krishna, fruit juices, etc. So that is, and maybe cool them a little. So that is Susevan. This is Pada Sevanam. Pada Sevanam also includes doing parikrama of the Lord, Lord's temple, going to his dham and doing parikrama there, Anuvrajya, going after his procession and visiting holy places. All of this also comes under Pada Sevanam. This is Pada Sevanam. Then comes Archanam. So what is Archanam? Worshipping the deity of the Lord. And how does one do Susevan? Nicely perform Archan, considering the Shri Murti to be non-different than Lord's very own form. Pratima nahe tumi sakshat Brajendra Nandan vipralagi karatumi akarya karan. So this disposition that I am directly serving the Lord, that is called as nicely serving the deities. Also the Kartik Vrat, Ekadashi Vrat, Janmashtami Vrat, all of that come in Archan limb only. So doing that very nicely is Susevan. Oh, all right. One more thing. Doing nicely worshipping the deities also mean that na adevo deva marchayat. Without being godly, one cannot serve God. This is the sum and substance of this aphorism. That means if one is serving one's Ishtadev, Radha Krishna, while serving, one should think oneself to be follower of one of the Vrajvasis. That is the Susevan. Nicely serving. Uh, hmm. Then Vandanam, offering obeisances. So some having great humility, thinking that, oh, I am not qualified to perform even Archan, so I will offer obeisances. So, offering one's obeisances, heartfelt obeisances to Krishna is Vandanam. That is Susevan. Then comes Dasyam. So Srila Jiva Goswami writes, one should, while worshipping, one should think that I am servant of Krishna. Jiver Swarupa Krishna Nitya Das. Being aware that I am Das, that itself is nicely serving Krishna. Dasyam. uh, it is mentioned that Astu Tavad, Srila Jiva Goswami writes, Astu Tavad Bhajana Prayasa Tadruk Abhimanena Api Siddhir Bhavati. Even, forget about putting a lot of endeavor into bhajan, even having the abhiman or true ego that I am servant of Krishna, servant of Krishna, Gopi Bhartur Padakamale or Dasa Dasa Anudas. Even this abhiman gives perfection. Then what to speak of endeavoring with that abhiman? Then comes Sakhyam. So having more intimacy in one's service. Of course, when one serves first six limbs very nicely, then only dasya sakhya and atma nivedan is possible. Otherwise it's very difficult. One should not imitate a sakhya bhav or anything. It should come as a natural uh, progression from doing first six limbs nicely, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam nicely. Automatically, one will develop these qualities also. Sakhyam, sometimes the pujari sleeps within temple hall only, so that he thinks that if Krishna requires something, I'll be immediately ready and available for him. So that kind of mood is called Sakhya. Then Atma Nivedam is of two types: offering one's belongings to Krishna, and second is offering oneself to Krishna. So just like one sells somebody one's own animal, uh, then that other person whom it is sold, that animal will be taken care of that person only. I no longer worry about maintaining it, and that animal will serve that new master only. So similarly, when one does Atma Nivedan, Susevanam means now one becomes completely freed from all the worries regarding body and bodily maintenance, and once wholeheartedly offers himself to Krishna. So this is Sadai Karibo Susevan of nine limbs, Navavida Bhakti Dharma, Sadai Karibo Susevan. And then next half is Anya Devashraya Nahi, Tomare Kahilu Bhai, A Bhakti Parama Bhajan. And apart from one's Ishtadev Radha Krishna, there is no need, or whatever. If one is Ram Upasak, then there is no need of worshipping any demigod or having Rati for any other form of the Lord other than. So if it is Ram Upasak, then apart from Sita Ramchandra, Shri Sita Ramchandra and their Parikar, he has nothing to think about anything else other than his Ishtadev. And for Krishna Upasak, apart from Radha Krishna, they have nothing else to, no one else to worship. Anya Devasharaya Nahi. And forget about taking shelter of any demigods. One should have respect for all the demigods and pray to them that let our bhakti towards Radha Krishna increase. But Asharay, no. Worship, no. So, Tomare Kahilu Bhai, A Bhakti Parama Bhajan. This is the best type of worship one can perform, and this is so beautifully expressed in this shloka verse. And with that, we'll conclude. And Krishna willing, we will meet again for the next verse. Till then, have a very nice Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna.